Whew, I've got a lot of reasons
There
as
you
to why
go.
I am so excited for this podcast. I could say long but short hair, soft but
Oh,
hard
I
hands,
missed this.
chiseled, six pack, bright smile, tall, but not too tall. I mean, I could go into it all, but I am really excited to have one of my good friends on the podcast for a one-on-one with Austin Li Coon, but he don't go by that no more. He goes by Austin Li Zaddy. Austin, welcome back to the podcast. How
Oh,
are
thank
you?
you. Doing good. I just changed my LinkedIn name, Austin Li Zaddy. I'm so honored. This would bring me back to like when 45, 46 was streaming, like being back here in the pod with you, my second home. I love it.
It's an honor to have you. And, we just released the Brice Izyah 2025 Zaddy Calendar. And, I feel like we broke the internet with the cover. I've had a lot of honor of having people like Xavier, people like Reed, people like Joseph from Big Brother. But the reception of you is really, really well. Do you know, it's funny because a random anecdote. Do you know who told me the first person ever? Well, first of all, on your season, I
Oh,
loved me some
you were my
Austin.
number one fan. Like I was your number one fan. It was perfect. I loved it.
So, on your season, I loved you, but it was interesting because I want to say at your finale party,
Mhm.
the Bryson went finale of your season, I introduced you to someone. Do you remember who I introduced you to? Did you just
Oh my gosh. I feel like you've introduced me to multiple people. I don't know. Who can I have a hint? I don't want to
uh
make a fool of myself right now, though, but I'll try.
from my season?
Oh, Jatia.
Jatia, you met her in Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, a different one. Okay. You're really screwing with me right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you remember meeting Woo?
You did not introduce me to Woo, Bryce.
Okay, so maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I'm making that up. Okay,
I would have
maybe I'm
remembered
making
that
that
one.
up.
I
Okay,
swear I
all
would have
right.
remembered that one. Okay, now I feel better. I was like, oh my
Okay,
gosh.
good.
I'm so sorry to whoever.
So
No.
maybe I didn't
Definitely.
introduce you to Woo, but Woo from my season,
Yes, I know
he
Woo from your
covered the
season.
Zaddy calendar, and he randomly texted me and was like, "I know Austin better be the cover of the upcoming calendar," and I was like, "Oh."
Woo said that about me? My fellow second place finalist?
I said, "Woo!" Like Woo making magic, and so ever since then, I've always had that idea. I was like, "Oh, I got to get Austin. I got to get Austin."
Wow.
What has your life been like since Survivor?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's been crazy. I mean, like I finished Survivor, I came back and I had a year left of grad school. And the first quarter back, it was like when the season was airing. So like obviously like I was only like paying like 50% attention to school because I had all these other crazy things happening. And then the season just ended. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have to like get ready to get a job again. I have to do all these regular things again. 46 came out, doing all those podcasts, getting really involved with all that. So it was like busy, busy, busy. Then all of a sudden I graduated June 1st. And this summer has been really crazy. So like, after I graduated, I had like 4 days to unpack or like to pack my entire apartment, fly everything back to California. But it's been awesome. I've been on a couple trips. It's my last summer break, really. I graduated undergrad and I worked for a while, went back to grad school last summer break now. So I went to Southeast Asia with my girlfriend. We came back. And I've been like applying for jobs. I went to Vegas, saw Jelinski, went to LA. Like I've been trying to live it up as much as possible because I know the clock's ticking. Pretty soon I'm going back to that work grind. So just trying to have as good of a time as possible before then.
Yes, live it up because the adult life, although I mean, I feel like I'm maybe like 3 years older than you, but adulting is not that fun.
Oh my gosh.
When you packed up your apartment in Chicago, I just have a sneaking suspicion that in a box that said fragile was that Survivor flag that was above your bed. Did you like fold that up like nice and neat and put it in the box and you're like, this has to stay safe?
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, like it was kind of funny. The day after I graduated, like, okay, I've got all this time to pack up. So I got like my most important things, the flag. I had like the hat I got from Survivor after the game, my buffs, all that stuff. I like neatly packed it up. And then it was like, I have a day left to do like 80% of everything. So I was just throwing everything I could in the boxes. Like things were breaking, but luckily the important stuff, the Survivor flags, the buffs, all that stuff, the notes that I got for the advantages, like those are perfect condition. Could not risk losing them. If I had to keep one thing safe, it were all my Survivor things.
Good to know. Good to know. I think something as like alums, what we don't talk about is like I heard you talking about season 46. I remember for me, not that long ago. But when season 29 came out, right? Like there's this not like sadness, but the realization that like, wow. Well, first of all, my time went a lot faster than your time. But
Hey, your time's still going. I don't know what you're talking about. We're on season 47 coming up, and you're leading the Survivor community. So I think you're doing pretty well.
I guess, but specifically the time on the island,
Right.
I had a couple of days. You made it to the end, but then I remember when season 29 came, there was like this sadness of like, it's over.
Yeah.
Did you feel that at all?
I didn't. A little bit, but honestly, I was like kind of excited to be on this end again. I mean, like, I remember not knowing, like, thinking, like, I don't know how I'm going to feel when 46 starts, but like, I think it was a more positive experience than I was expecting. I was like, there's a chance I'm going to watch this and be like, I can't do this and I won't be able to make it through the season or like whatever. But like, for the most part, I really enjoyed being on, this side as a fan. I could like put tweets out. I could like comment again on social media. I wasn't hiding. Like my job was easy because like when you're on the season, it's like I can't tell anyone anything. I'm lying 100 times a day to the people closest to me. And like now it's like I'm just enjoying it. I can talk about the game with other people. So that part was fun. I remember listening to at your Bryce and Wendell event, the final tribal council. And I think that was the first moment for me where it's like, oh wow, like that one I was like shook. I was like, wow, like this is a lot to watch right now. That was probably the only moment for me, but that wasn't too bad. Jam was standing next to me. He put his arm over me. I was like, oh, thanks, man. And then it was all good. But yeah, no, I enjoyed watching the season for sure.
Yeah, it's there's a sadness, but also I feel like you can return as a fan again. I feel like sometimes there's that like that pressure. You don't know what the edit's going to give. You don't know what the fans are going to say. That Wednesdays into Thursdays captivate your whole life.
Literally your whole life. Like Wednesdays, I could not do a thing except think about the episode and be like, is this going to be shown? Is that going to be shown? Who's going to get credit for this move? Like, how's the edit going to show this? Like all these questions. And then the next day, it's like all Thursday, you're on Twitter, you're on Reddit, you're just like reading you're searching Survivor Austin and seeing what people are saying about, you know what I mean? So like it takes up the entire day. It's crazy. And it's like, oh, I've got class, but like I'm in class, like on my phone being like, what are people saying about me? And it's just, it takes over.
It does. And then the second that you feel like you're a normal person again, it's Wednesday all over again. And so like the cycle just competes itself or it just repeats itself over and over again. Is there a secret to your cast? I feel like season 45 is an anomaly in the sense that y'all still friends. Y'all get together. I feel like Survivor history, sometimes I feel like the Survivor cast, they get together, they friendly, but you don't see them all together again. Or if you do, it's for a special occasion. It seems like you can't go nowhere without seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 45ers.
Yeah, I love the cast, and I definitely feel so lucky. Like, I remember, I mean, obviously I was the alternate, and I was like, I could have just as easily, not been on the cast and been on season 47 or been the alternate 46 or whatever. Like, I'm just so glad that I was on 45 because I think that it's a cast that like genuinely, like everyone is a good person on that cast at their heart. And like they, obviously everyone wanted to win, but like people aren't upset at people because they know it was a game. And I think everyone there was there to play the game, but understood that it's a game and that no one was making moves because they hated anyone. But besides that, it was just sort of like, we're here to play. You're playing the game well, no hard feelings. And like everyone respected each other on the jury, pre-jury, everything. Like everyone's like respecting each other's games, even if they were gunning after you. And I think that's kind of rare too, because it wasn't as much of like I was put into this game. I was destined to win and you stole that from me. But it was more like, I thought I was going to win. I was playing everything I could. you blindsided me, but that's just how the game goes. And I think that like the fact that everyone is on board with that is, I think the reason why we're so close now.
Yeah, I love to see your cast together. It's just I don't know why I'm about to Drew. He was on Jeopardy and he was
Oh,
having
man.
a watch party in Philly. And so I was like, of course I gotta come and show love. First of all, I love Drew because Drew is so smart, but Drew sometimes is also very out there. So
Yeah.
Drew is having a watch party in Philly. And I saw him post about it, and I was like, of course I have to go and support. And so I had work that day. So I just made sure that I was in that area for my job because, my job, I'm all in the community. And so I was like, all right, let me go get something to eat. So I went to like this diner, Austin, that's literally across the street. And I met up with like a couple of my friends. We're in the back eating, drinking, and walks in Drew, his girlfriend, and Emily. So they
Oh,
walk in,
God.
and so
Power
I'm like,
trio.
should I should probably go say hi. So I walked over. I went to say hi. Everyone was so excited. Drew was like, oh, so good to see you. I was like, okay, I don't want to disturb you. I just wanted to say hi. Do you know 4 minutes later, Drew comes back and it's like, hey, Bryce, I don't know if you know, but like, I'm having a watch party across the street. If you're not doing anything, like, I'd love for you to come. I'm like, bish,
Why
why
do
do
you
you
think
think
I'm
I'm a
here? Drew,
Drew?
the smartest person I've ever met, but still sometimes he'll give a comment like that.
Right. It's so funny. Now I feel like again, now we're both former players.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like when I watch, I'm a fan of the show. I know that you are a fan of the show. And I know Survivor 50 is a huge talking point for a lot of people. I would assume a player like you, with long but short hair, brown but hazel eyes, large but medium-sized hands, right? I
Okay,
would
okay, okay.
I would assume that that is, a possibility that could happen for you, right? For me, though, personally, as a fan, right? I'm so excited for it because we haven't had a returnee season in so long. Now, I am a little older than you, but not much. But I remember a point in Survivor where it seemed like it was every other season
Yeah.
was a returnee season. And it kind of got a little stale. And I feel like that's why Survivor Cagayan is so well regarded in the fandom, because it was like we were a newbie season after such a long time. Now I feel like it's the opposite. Now, as a
Mm.
fan, like I am ready
Oh,
for a
same.
returnee season. Like, people keep saying my name, but I don't know why. Okay, listen, I'm gonna be at home
I mean, anyone
watching.
who's listened to you for more than 30 seconds knows why your name is coming up.
I don't, Austin, I appreciate that. But listen, I'm gonna be right. My ass gonna be at home watching. But I am just so excited for a returnee season. But I do feel like watching returnee seasons, right? Like you as a former player, there is something to be said returning, right? Like I feel like
Mhm.
just knowing how the island works, knowing how confessionals work, I really feel like there is an advantage to that. Like, would you
Oh, yeah.
agree as a former player?
Oh, 100%. And I mean, we kind of got like a first perspective glance at it with Bruce on our season. Like, yeah, he played for 12 hours, but he has all of the resources of his entire season 44 cast. He heard every single story, I'm sure, 100 times about what happened that season. And just like to know how the game works like that, to know how the producers ask you questions, to know like where to look for idols and stuff like that is a huge advantage. And that's why whenever there's a season where there's returning players mixed with new players, like the returning players, they're sometimes running laps around these new players
Right.
because it's so much easier to be like, oh, yeah, I played again, but how much of an advantage is that? It's just a bigger target on my back, but it is a huge advantage. Just like to know that you're not going to be surprised, be like, okay, a boat hasn't come in by this time, meaning we're probably not going to challenge or whatever. Or like knowing like, okay, I want to look at these specific areas of trees because that's where I last found an idol or something like that. Like there is a huge advantage of the experience of just like the knowledge, the resources that you have. So And I think that's why, like, when you have a returning season, like, it's just cutthroat right away because everyone is there to play and everyone knows how to play.
Absolutely. And I'm getting like feelings of Winners at War. When Winners at War was happening, I felt like it was the elite of the elite. Like it
Mhm.
was sharks against sharks.
Oh, yeah.
Like day one, they were going at it. And I really feel like that's what 50 is going to give, because I feel like so much of the alum is so hungry to get back. Have you
Mhm.
heard about the Mike Bloom's podcast of like the Survivor 50 vote, where all
Yes.
summer he's been going back past seasons and they've been like cultivating a list of people
Wow.
that, the listeners would like to see back. Have you heard anything about
Yeah,
that?
I have heard it, and I've seen, social media posts, people trying to hype people up to vote for
Okay.
them and stuff.
Look, that's what I want to talk to you about, Austin. So another thing, what I love what Survivor 50 has done to the alum community, right?
Mhm.
Because there are some Survivor alums that give to the community, just to give to the community. Like they're constantly putting content out, they're constantly
Mhm.
there. Like, there are staples in the community. Hello, how are you? Um, but as a fan, right, I love to see the survivors that have not been that active on social media. I love to see like their emergence back to
Oh my
like
gosh.
it's so funny. And I think I have a special place in my heart for like the older survivors because I love it. So I feel like this Rob has a podcast, this Michael Bloom, like there are so many survivors that are like, vote for me.
Yeah.
And I think the funny thing about it is, and I ain't even trying to laugh though, like, I think they think it's like second chances. Like, I think they
My
think that
god.
it's like the official vote. The
Some,
way
like,
that they are like,
PTSD coming in here.
they are campaigning. Like, they are every day on a story, like, good morning, guys. Just hit the gym. Click the link at the bottom. You know you want to see me. And I'm like, now, first of all, I love it though. As a fan, I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you want
But
people hungry to play the game, and that's what
right.
they're telling you, that they wanna play it so bad that they're willing to make a story every single day after they work out, telling people to vote for them on an unofficial vote. Like, they wanna play.
I just don't know how unofficial they think it is, Austin. And that's the best part. And I don't care what nobody says. My favorite person that campaigns is two people,
Mhm.
Janet Corbin
Oh, okay.
and Mama C. For me,
Mm.
they are my favorite. Because first of all, Mama C gonna give you a workout photo, like, and then be like, yeah, baby. Like, like.
I love that. You know what? I'm totally happy if both of them play. I love that they're both doing this campaigning stuff too. Come on, Julie, my mama J.
My,
I need her to step into the ring. Let's go. Come
yes.
on,
Come on, get
your
in the ring.
competition is posting these stories. You gotta get in on this.
You gotta text her, Austin. But although I'm like lightly making fun of it, like honestly, I really do love it so much because for me, I don't really feel sometimes like I'm a Survivor player, right? Like I feel like I just have Paramount Plus. So I feel like I have like access to everything, but I don't really feel like I played. I feel more like a fan. And so like when I get to see people that I haven't seen in a while, like Kobe Archer or like, Johnny Fairplay posting a photo of his grandmom saying like, I know you want to see my grandmom again. Like I just love shit like that. Like that just tickles me.
I
I
agree.
thought
It is fun. It's all good fun, and it's like, whatever happens, happens, and like you might as well have fun in the process. Like, why not?
absolutely. And so for you on your season, right? You got to the end, but you didn't win.
Yeah, yeah. Do be like that.
Sometimes it be like that, but I feel like, I'm not sure if you're a religious person, Austin. But I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, like, God doesn't close the door without opening a window.
Okay, okay. I'm on board.
Okay. And so I feel like, although you may not have won your season due to whatever it could have been, look at God. You are now the cover of the Brice Izyah 2025 Zaddy Calendar.
Oh my gosh. Can we get some like dings for that or something? Like, woohoo! That, big honor, huge honor, something that couple years ago, I would not have believed. And 5 years ago, I probably would have just laughed. Like, what? Like, no way. The Brice Izyah Zaddy Calendar, like Joseph was the cover 2024. Like, that guy is a freaking Greek god. Like, he is beautiful. So to be in the same conversation as him, you got Wu, who was telling you to put me on. Like, I'm truly beyond words. I'm so honored. It is amazing.
What was your knowledge of the Zaddy Calendar prior? And be honest, like, we just have, we just having a, a conversation. What was your knowledge of the Zaddy Calendar prior to?
Yeah, I think when I first heard of the Zaddy Calendar, it was towards the end of the 2023 cycle, entering the 2024, around when you were sort of like hyping that one up. Because I remember thinking like, wow, like I would love to be on this calendar. Like, this would be so fun.
You're lying.
Check your DMs. I messaged you months ago, being like once I was announced, before the season even started, being like, hey, you need someone to be on your Zaddy calendar. And I think you responded too. So, but
I mean, just so we could be clear about this relationship. Can you repeat that line again? You slid into the what?
Check your DMs, Bryce.
Okay. Okay. Y'all think it's a one-sided street? No, it's amazing. I love to uplift and create a fun community. What I gotta know is because I'm take you on a little roll. What was it like during your season having like this gay black man every week talk about Austin? Who? That's my man. My man. Like, what was that like?
I loved it. It was honestly one of my favorite parts of like being in the season. It was just like the hype of, I was so excited every time your podcast dropped. I was like waiting for you to be the soft yet firm hand. I was waiting for it, being like, yep, okay, cool. And then every week when you bring up a new one, I was like, I never heard that one. That one's sweet. My mom would tell me, be like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe what Bryce was saying about this. It was awesome. We were all living for it. Like that it was awesome. I loved it.
I loved it too. I think that maybe like a couple seasons prior to your seasons, for me, like that's how I show love, right? Like it's not that I really want you.
yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's okay. Fine, whatever. Fine.
Okay. Because unless no. So no, it's not like I really want you. It's not like But for me, it's like laughter. Like I like to make people laugh. I'm crazy. And so like that is really honestly like my way of showing love. So if I'm lusting over someone or in Survivor, it's nothing but love. And I thought that was like pretty evident. But maybe a couple of seasons ago, I was, showing love and sent some people would like tell somebody in their comments, I'm the ladder. And this person, I think, maybe had like a Drew moment and really didn't understand like what was going on. And I think like they actually thought that, I was like, I don't know. So
even so, like, what's the issue,
Austin, because they say a toe is a toe. So I don't know. But no, so I always try to like, I want to like slow walk things. I don't want people to think that like I'm just this crazy old person. And makes so sense. I remember with your season, it was funny because I was just trying to keep it cute, but it wasn't until one day I logged on to Twitter and I had got this tweet and it was just like, Bryce is so crazy. I can't believe he said he the hand and not the foot. And I was like, who is this? Eva Li Coon? Like, once I saw that your mom was with it, I was like, oh, Austin, he's going to get tired of me. What? How did your mom?
Never did.
Good to know. How did your mom take you being the cover of the Zaddy Calendar?
I think she went through every single emotion. Like I showed it to her maybe like 3-4 days before you released it. Cause I warned her, I told her like, listen, by the way, I'm going to be on the Zaddy calendar. But I was like, I don't want to show you the photo. Like I'll wait until the last possible second to do that because like, I just don't want to have that happen right now. But then I couldn't push it back any longer. I knew you were about to release it. I was like, Mom, it's better you find this out from me than on the internet. Here it is. And, at first she didn't really say anything. She was shocked for sure. But
Wait, is this in person or is this via
this is
text?
in
Set it up
person.
for us.
This
Oh.
is we're sitting at the dinner table. All right. You know, we're just eating dinner. We're about to go clean up. And I'm like, all right, mom, you ready to see it? And I pull it up. I show it to her. She just sits with it. It's like, wow. And goes through every emotion. Eventually, pretty quickly, she's on board. You know, she's been so involved and happy and enjoying being in the Survivor community. So like any of it's all fun. She's loved tweeting and like, you know, every time she gets a follower, she tells me. Whenever her post gets like more than 20 likes, she tells me and stuff, and she's so excited about it. So like eventually she went around and was like, okay, this is pretty funny. Like you're not doing anything bad. It's just a photo that I don't really need to see a lot, but like, you know, it's funny. It's all for fun. You know, you're supporting Brice, who obviously she loves you. So she's like, I like totally like, she's happy with it now. But yeah, it's just kind of funny. You know, I think now I feel more awkward when we talk about it. She's down to talk about it. She's always bringing up like, oh my God, Austin, did you see your Zaddy picture was posted on Reddit in these comments? I'm like, Mom, just stop. I don't want to talk about this with you. But yeah, so she's into it.
This is why I love Mama Eva. First of all, she's my mother-in-law in my head, and I don't care what nobody say. Okay, that's my mother-in-law. But it was so funny because I posted it. Sometimes, like, I don't know. Do you ever? Well, you probably don't. But sometimes when I post stuff online, like I get anxiety. Like I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, so I
Are
will
you
post
kidding
stuff.
me? Of course I do.
I will put my phone on do not disturb, and then I'll go like do something for 2 hours.
Yep.
And so that's what I did when I dropped the Zaddy calendar. But I didn't like
Really?
yeah, I was just like, I get so nervous. It's literally, I tell people it is a labor of love, right?
Yeah.
Because it is months and months and months of chasing people down. And you can attest because I'd be like, Austin, what's up with the photo? And you're like, Bryce, give me 2 more weeks. So it's like, just imagine that with Q, right? Imagine that with like Ben. So it's literally a labor of love. And so I hope that it's received well. And so like, I just get nervous. So I put my phone on like do not disturb, or I just turn all of my Instagram notifications off.
Yeah.
But I forgot to turn my Facebook notifications off. So I get to my
Ooh.
phone, and the first notification I see is from Eva. Talk about, should I be embarrassed? Question mark. At least he's the cover. I'm like, oh.
No.
But then all the comments were great. And so then, you know, I logged back on and I was like, oh, then I was surprised that you even posted the photo to your Instagram. And I appreciate that so much because, you know, it's an honor. And let's talk.
It's my honor. And let me tell you, I also get really anxious before posting anything on social media. And like, I've only recently done the thing where I'll post it, then I'll put away my phone for like an hour or something. Before it'd be like, I post and like, that meant that I was glued to my phone for the next hour, just seeing what's happening, like seeing, oh, is this an okay post? Like, are people upset or like, what are people saying kind of thing? Now it's sort of like, okay, posting it, I just need to like separate, especially for something like this. It was like, I've never posted something like this. You know, I posted a couple like quasi thirst traps back, you know, back when the season was airing and stuff. But now it's like, I have, this is unusual for me. So I posted it, I left it for a while, and you know, oh God, when I came back, some of those, I had to do some comment moderation.
I felt like you put me as a mod because I was monitoring the comments. Now let's talk about these. Well, first of all, before we get to that, right, I do want to ask you, what is it like you being a young but mature, handsome, yet good-looking, straight man that has a lot of, I want to say like the LGBTQ plus community, but let's just call a thing a thing. You have a lot of gay men that love you, Austin, right? Like, you know, if Picasso could put together something, if, you know, we said, Picasso, wake up, you're not dead no more. We need a athletic and tall. We need long but short hands. We want soft but hard hands. Like, he would create you. And the gays love you. How do you receive that?
You know what? I mean, I love it. Obviously, like I'm totally fine. It's something that I never thought that this would be my life, that I would be receiving that kind of attention. So that's been really cool. And secondly, like I have a girlfriend, so it's like I'm not looking for anything. So whether it's a girl who's commenting that or a guy, it's the same thing to me. It's someone who's like complimenting me, saying nice things about me. Like, what's there to be upset about? Like, it's awesome. Like, I once again, like, it's something that I really never was used to, like, much before Survivor. Is never something that I was expecting to have, like, this positive reaction from people. Like, I'm honored. Like, the fact that you're willing to spend time typing this like nice message to me, even sometimes they're a little more than nice, but like for the most part, nice messages sending to me, like it's like that's cool. Like, thank you so much.
We love that. Spoken so eloquently, so demure from a Zaddy. But I do want to talk about some of the comments that you got
Oh
on your
boy.
post. Now, I had text Austin yesterday. I said, Austin, we're going to talk about the comments. Austin was like, thanks for the heads up. Now, when I got up this morning, there was one particular comment that I wanted to get, and it happened to be gone, and I felt like Austin, he grabbed it from the internet. But just know it probably was the nastiest, sloppiest comment you could ever think about.
Oh my God. Emphasis on the sloppiest.
I screamed. And then, of course, Brandon Donnellan is like, Eva Li Coon, if you're reading this, don't read any further. Save yourself. Okay. And of course, your mom wrote back, it's too late. Then we had something from Andrew Curtis saying, I hear something purring.
I didn't see that. Okay, I've probably seen maybe half the comments. I mean, they were hard. I mean, like, they were awesome, but they were also like, okay, I need to calm down before I read the rest of this thing. That's so funny. I didn't see that one.
Owen Knight saying, for a second, I thought you were giving Miss Eva photograph.
That one I saw. That was awesome. Because at the end, my caption like, sorry at Eva Li Coon.
Right.
So like, that is so funny. Like, imagine if that happened. That would
now. Owen giving Eva photo credit. Owen, I took the photo. Stop playing. Okay. Then we had Gio saying, you lost Survivor, but we are all winners after seeing this picture. I mean, come on, Gio.
That was poetic. I mean, I love that. Fellow alternate. Love you, Gio.
Then we had Dante _, I don't know. He said, the gays are about to assemble. Okay. Assemble. Okay.
Assemble and buy this calendar. That's what I got to say about that.
The gays got information. Then we had Cooper writing, this man could ruin my credit score and I'd be grateful. Never has someone been so fine grace our TV screens. Okay, Cooper.
God, see, like, how can you be upset with that? Like, that is like the nicest. Like, what, really? Like, I was on your TV screen and you're wanting more of that? Like, that is, I'm honored. Like, thank you so much, sir.
Then we had Survivor Superfan Fun Time says, seeing this photo is like hearing the Beatles for the first time.
Oh man, that guy, he's awesome. I was on a couple of his pods too. He's the one who on YouTube made the like best of Austin Li Coon on Survivor 45. Made like a 30-minute video and it was like, wow, like that. Thank you. Like, that's so cool. See, like, they're so nice. Like, this is the best.
They love you. Bud Melissa said, Christmas present for grandmom. Okay. The grandmoms need a Zaddy too.
Should I send this to my grandma too?
You definitely should. Then I think it's Arman or something. Dave said, bro, chill. My girl is on this app. I died.
That was a more recent one. I remember getting that notification. That was like this morning or something, right? No, yesterday.
I told you I was up this morning. Then somebody by the name of Tyler Hannell said, Austin, this picture has changed my life and you need to know that. And I had to write back and I said, Tyler, Alexa, play Genuine. My whole life has changed. You probably do you know who Genuine is, Austin?
You know what?
Oh my God. See, you're giving me Jack vibes right now, Austin.
Say, like whenever I was listening to the pod and you guys would roast Jack for not knowing music, I was just like, thank God it's not me in his shoes because he's doing better than I would. I'm sorry. I'm
all right.
really
So
bad.
It's okay. Listen, I got you.
Thank
Have you
you.
ever heard of this song, Austin?
Probably not.
If you wanna, let's do it. Ride it. My
Yeah.
saddle, my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it.
Listen, I will listen to that. Maybe have heard it. I'll listen to it immediately after this podcast. You've got my word. I'm writing down right now.
You know what,
Genuine.
Austin? Let me
I'm
see if
telling you,
Sifu.
I don't
Let me
know.
see if
I just
Sifu is
don't know
available
shit
because
like
you
this.
know what? We might need to change this cover. You don't know Genuine?
Okay, maybe I do. I just don't.
Okay, all
I
right,
just
Austin. Okay, all right. I'm gonna
don't
let
do
you
things, you
slide.
know.
I'm gonna
I
let you
live I
slide. And of
live
course,
in the basement.
speaking
I
of
don't listen
speaking
to
of
music.
seafood, Austin, you listen to music because when you was at our New Orleans party,
Oh God, what are you about to say?
your whole season, y'all was cutting up. Like you wasn't on the 1-2 step, but you know you was on the 1-3 step, but you still was grooving.
Hey, you don't need to know the song to groove. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. I like that. And of course, your fellow 45er, Sifu writes, this means I've got to bust out the cheetah print thong for Sifu 2026
Listen,
Fire Zaddy.
guaranteed he's already wearing it. When he was typing that, he was wearing it. He doesn't take it off.
Okay. And speaking of that, this is one of the reasons why I love Sifu. One of the first times I met you guys, I think it was at like the RHAP event
Mm-hmm.
in New York when your season had just aired. And
Oh, yep,
it
yep.
was in September. And you know, on the East Coast, sometimes in September, it's still warm. And I think maybe that day was like 75, 80 degrees. When I met Sifu, he had on that
Oh my God.
cheetah fleece. And I
Yeah.
was like, I know you were hot. He was like, it's the look, brother. I was like, much respect to you, Sifu.
I mean,
Much respect.
he lost 30 pounds on Survivor. And he was there half the time. He lost 30 pounds, and like he would wear every single day in the the blazing Fijian sun, like a full long sleeve, long pants, pure black, like not even thin cloth, but it was like his Tai Chi garb, and he would wear it through everything, sweating nonstop, like he just like loves pain. I think like it just like when he's hurting, he's like, I'm becoming stronger. Like I believe that's what he thinks.
I love it because I feel like anything for the look, you know. So if you got to be hot, if you got to squeeze into something, if it achieves the look, I'm not mad at it. And before we close out this podcast, I feel like today or yesterday I had posted on my Instagram a passing of the torch where we had Joseph, you know, say his final words, even though we still got a couple of more months in 2024. But he said his final words, and he kind of passed the torch to you as the new current Zaddy cover of the Brice Izyah 2025 Zaddy Calendar,
Still
which is
sounds pretty crazy to hear, you know.
listen, okay, and it's now available. You click the link in my Instagram bio or to this podcast or YouTube video, and bless your life. And so he passed the torch to you. But before we go, I would love to know what, with this newfound title, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, I think I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's sort of just like, going from a place where a few years ago or before, Survivor and all that, like this was never even a thought that like was a possibility. Like I never thought that I would get any sort of attention like this, and to just have this just spring out of nowhere the past year and a half has been absolutely crazy. Like, I mean, growing up, I definitely did not have a lot of confidence in a bunch of different things, and, including how I looked and all that stuff. So this has just been like so awesome. And like, it's been building myself up every single day since like, first applying to Survivor, going through that process, being on the show, watching everything afterwards, reading all these comments, listening to your podcast. It's been like truly, I think, like transformative. And I think my life has become so much better, and I felt so much better about myself the past year and a half or so. So it's like, it's been awesome. And to like have this here, it's like, wow, like this is so cool. Like I'm truly so honored to be spoken in the same breath as the other people, not just who were covers of this calendar, but like who were just like in every single month of the calendars. Because there are some zaddies, on these calendars. So it's like, wow, like it's truly an honor. Like I love it. And it's just, it's awesome. It's just like, what the heck happened to my life? Like I feel like I just like stumbled upon like this like big pot of gold, and it's just been like amazing, you know. So I've been so happy with it.
Well, it's truly an honor to have you as the cover of the Zaddy Calendar, but it's even more honor to have you as a friend, knowing that I could call you, I could text you, we speak. So for me, that's the joy. So I can't say thank you enough, Austin, for gracing everyone's homes and blessing people's grandmothers with your presence. And so, yeah, thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you
on the
so much.
podcast.
Thank
And
you.
I
It's been
can't.
awesome, you know, becoming your friend, listen to everything, being able to join you on these podcasts. It's been awesome. So thanks so much. Whenever you need me, shoot me a text, you know.
Listen, you don't got to tell me that. I'm about to text you now. It's like, no, all right. Thank you so much. This has been One-on-One with Austin Li Zaddy. Ooh, it's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh, it's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.